Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamajit, and thank you so very much for joining me this evening. And tonight is the next installment of our scriptural visualization meditation series. We're going to be featuring the Devi Kilakam Stotram, which roughly translates to meaning the praise which unfastens the pin. And so you might remember from previous broadcasts how I've talked about how scriptures like the Devi Mahatmya, especially the also known as the Chandipat, this scripture here, also known as the Durga Saptasati or 700 verses of Ma Durga, how there is a curse upon the scripture. And the curse is essentially, if you practice the sadhanas of that scripture without the proper attitude, it's not going to work for you. And so there's a number of preparatory prayers that helps to get the sadhaka, the person practicing the sadhana, into the right frame of mind so that they can truly reap the benefits of reading and chanting that scripture. I want to say namaste to both Bryce and Kim, and also anybody else who happens to be joining us at this time. Please feel free to say hello using the chat function on your screen. One quick announcement before we get started, and that is this coming Friday. December is going to be kind of an odd month because I'm not going to be having a Friday puja on the 22nd. Looks like I'm going to be entertaining out-of-town family then. And so this coming Friday, the 1st of December, I'm going to be combining our monthly Cha sadhana and our Yoga Nidra sadhana. And I'm going to be featuring, as part of that, a short Cha liturgy called the Concise Severance. And this is a fairly short Cha ritual, very vivid though in imagery. Written by a rather interesting individual, Dujam Lingpa, who lived through much of the 19th into the early 20th century. And what makes Lingpa rather interesting is he was a householder. He was a layman. He was not formally educated in any monastic tradition, nor did he ever take monastic vows. So this is one of his many contributions to the Tibetan tradition. And I think you're going to enjoy incorporating this into a Yoga Nidra very much. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to start to set the framework for our meditation by reading the Stotram in English first, and this is really to set the mood of when I chant it again in its original Sanskrit. And then I'm going to include a little translator's note, short little discussion as to the nature of this stotra, and also two mantras that are very closely connected to it. So I invite you to find a comfortable position, seated upright, so you can look upon your screen with a relaxed gaze. You can focus on the Devi images. And again, I want to say something about the title of our scripture, the Devi Kilakam. Again, it means the praise that removes the pin. When one reads through the preliminary prayers of the Devi Mahatmya, the previous one, the Argala Stotram, means the praise that unfastens the bolt. And an imagery that I like to see very much that really works for me with this. And this goes back to in my college days. I was very active in the Society for Creative Anachronism. I used to do medieval style fighting in armor. And think of these preliminary prayers as like taking off the pieces of a suit of armor, armoring that keeps us from truly uniting with the divine. So we're taking away these fears, we're taking away these insecurities, we're taking away these misconceptions of our lives and our existence, so that we can truly merge and be a part of the Divine Mother who is and acknowledge the fact that she is with us always. So I invite you to gaze upon your screen, open your breath, and just let the words carry your awareness to where it needs to be. The praise that removes the pin. Om. Presenting the respected mantras of the praise that removes the pin. The consciousness of infinite goodness is the seer. Anustup, the 32 syllable in the verse, is the meter. The respected great goddess of all-pervading knowledge, Sarasvati, is the deity. For the satisfaction of the respected mother of the universe, this appendage to the 700 verses is applied in recitation. Om, we bow to the goddess Chandikaye, who tears apart thought. And the sage Markandeya said, Om, pure knowledge is his body, of the 3 Vedas are the vision in his divine eyes. He is the cause of attaining the ultimate. We bow to him who wears the half moon of bliss, of devotion. This would be Lord Shiva. One should understand the mantras that remove the pin. Whoever constantly recites all of these mantras attains peace and security. Those whose praise by means of this, O goddess, by means of mantras of the hymn, will attain the perfection of indifference to each and every object of existence. There is no mantra, no medicine, nor anything else known by which indifference to all can be attained without repeated application. The great reliever perfects every doubt to the world and fills all this with bliss of those who perform these mantras. He made the praise of she who tears apart thought, and he made it secret. There is no end to its merit. Thus, he attached a restraint. Whoever with full concentration of mind will meditate upon all of these on the 14th and 8th days of the dark lunar fortnight will undoubtedly attain bliss. As one gives, so in return does one receive, and by no other means is she pleased, and this is the form of the pin by which it has been bound by the great God. The person who constantly recites clearly removes the pin and becomes an attained one. That person joins the retinue of the goddess and becomes a celestial singer. Wherever such a person may move, they are free from fear. Neither would that person be subject to untimely death, and upon leaving his or her body, that individual attains liberation or moksha. Having understood, one should commence and practice it. By not performing it, but those not performing it will perish. Again, by having understood comes fulfillment. This is undertaken by those who know. All that is beautiful and any other auspicious quality seen in women is all the blessing of the divine, and therefore this goodness should be recited. Great wealth is attained for those who recite in moderate tone, and those whose higher tone is completely fulfilled. Therefore, it must be undertaken. When the blessing of the Supreme Sovereign is welfare, health, fulfillment, and destruction of all enmity, and the ultimate liberation, by will people not sing her praise. Om. So we just read through something that just sounds like the reason that we're doing this particular sadhana, that is, reciting, chanting, reading the 700 verses of Ma Durga. And then I'm going to read this little translator's addendum. This is by the translator, who is Swami Satchidananda Sarasvati of Devi Mandir in California. There is a significant mystical tradition associated with the Kilaka Stotram that Mother will reveal at a certain stage in the development of the aspirant. It includes the removal of the pin by which all these mantras of the Shaptasati have been bound, and the lifting of the curses that open the door to the secret. Essentially, every verse within this scripture is a mantra unto itself. So we may be reading these verses, which translate to a prayer, to a story, but they go much deeper. Especially in their original Sanskrit, they are mantras designed as vehicles for consciousness. So these are part of the body of doctrine of the Tantra that is generally held to be quote unquote magic. And indeed, it most certainly is, but perhaps not in the ordinary sense, as the public construes. As a consequence, the grammatical construction of these verses is obscure, and they have been variously translated in a number of sources consulted. This rendering attempts to come as close as possible to the spirit of the theme, but the meaning will become more clear after initiation in and these are two mantras, the Utkilana mantra and the Sapoddhara mantras. This we must determine for ourselves after having the experience, and is recommended that our most respected gurus show us the way to its attainment. Unfortunately, no other intellectual explanation will be of any further value. So that's the little addendum to this scripture. So I'm going to read the scripture again as a meditation, essentially chanting 16 mantras or 16 verses. And then we'll have a short pause and give you a chance just to experience and feel the energies of those mantras. And then we're going to do 21 rounds of the two mantras that are mentioned in connection to this. So we're first going to do the Sapoddhara mantra. So I'm going to chant that in its original Sanskrit 21 times. We'll have a brief pause, give you a chance to experience those energies. And so the mantra, once again, the Sapoddhara mantra goes as follows. As soon as I get my notes back on this, I'm using my iPad. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaye Devi Shapanugram Kuru Kuru Svaha. So Om is the mantra of the universe. Om is the creative vibration that Lord Brahma uttered at the very beginning and it represents the continued expansion of the universe. So listen to a babbling brook, a breeze, an ocean, for that matter, traffic or machinery, and you'll hear that Om sound. Hreem is Devi in all of her aspects. Kleem, the attractive nature of the divine. Sreem, associated with Lakshmi, the preserver. Glaum and Gleam refer to, those are very often Bij mantras for Ganesha, but they reflect the obstacle removing quality of the Divine Mother. Chandika is Devi, the Divine Mother, translates roughly to she who tears apart thoughts, those thoughts that we have that stand in our way from exhibiting our full potential. And then the word Shapan Nugram means affecting favor or removing curses. Kuru, having devotion, and then Svaha, I am one with the divine. So that's the first mantra, the Sapoddhara mantra. The second mantra that I'll then repeat 21 times is the Utkilana mantra, which is actually very similar, but again reflects much of the same qualities. Om, Sreem, Kleem, Hreem, Shaptasati Chandikaye, Utkilanam, Kuru, Kuru, Svaha. So contains really a lot of the same seed mantras. Shaptasati Chandikaye refers to our scripture, the Devi Mad Maya, also known as the Durga Shaptasati, or 700 verses, also known as the Chandipat. And Utkilanam means unraveling, expanding, or opening. So very often when we are exposed to a particular mantra, we can try to make a translation of that mantra. And those translations in the end really turn out to be more approximations to their meanings. The true power of the mantra, however, lies in the vibrational qualities of the original language, those tones. And those tones are designed to guide our consciousness. And that's why so often when I do a particular sadhana, whenever possible, I try to do both the English and also the original Sanskrit, or more recently, the original Tibetan, and so that those of you participating can experience the full quality of the practice. So Jema, Jema, Jema. So I invite you again to make yourselves comfortable. Find a seated position where your back is straight. Maybe roll the shoulders back to open the chest so your breath can be slow, full, and complete. And just take a moment, breathe deeply, close your eyes, open your receptivity, and just allow the mantras and their energies to be your guide. And as you breathe and as you listen, just let yourself become aware of anything that comes in to your realm of awareness. There's no right or wrong way for an individual to experience this practice. What you will experience will be truly your own. It will be what you need at this moment. So continue breathing deeply. listen and experience. Ata Kilikam Om Asya Sri Kilika Mantrasya Shiva Rishi Anstup Chanda Sri Maha Sarasvati Devata Sri Jagadamba Priyatam Saptasati Patanga Tvenayape Vinyoga Om Namo Chandikaye Om Namo Chandikaye Om Namo Chandikaye Markandeya Uvacha Om Vishuddha Jnana Deyata Triveda Divya Chakyuse Sreya Prapti Nimataya Nama Somadadani Sarvametad Vijayan Matranamabikilikam Sopi Kasye Mama Vapnopti Statam Japyata Para Siddhyant Yokta Tandini Vastuni Shakalanyape Etana Sovatam Devi Stotra Mantrana Siddhayati Namantro Nosodam Tatra na kinchipid viyate Vina japyana sapyana sarvam uttanadikam samagranyape siddhyante loka sankalmam hara krutva nimantra yamasya sameba midim subam Stotram Vachandakaya Sotacha Guptam Chakarata Samaptina Cha Punyasyatam Yatavani Yantranam Sopi Krisma Mamvapnope Sarvame Vatalamna Samsaya Krishnayam Vachato Dasyam Atamalam Vasamhita Dadati Prati Granati Nanyatasya Prasidati Itam Rupina Kilina Mahadevina Kilitam Yo Nishkilam Vidhayanam Nityam Japti Samputam Sasidya Sagranasopi Gandhavoya Jayate Nara Nachavap Yatatasya Bayam Vapiya Jayate Napamrityur Vasyamyate Murto Moksama Vipnoya Yatva Parambya Kurvitana Kurvano Vinsyate Tato Nyan Vaiva Sampanam idam parabhyate buddhayab sabhagayadi chayat kinchid doyate lana jani tat savam tat prastinatena yapyamidam subam sanastu japyamane sminam stotre sampate rukaya bhavetyava samagrapi tata parabhyam evatat esvaram yat prasadena sabgayam yagya sampadya satrubhanir paromaksha studyate sana kim janai. Om. Breathe deeply, meditating quietly for a time. Just feeling the energies of the mantras, and reflect for a moment on the experiences that it has brought for you. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Sapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Sapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Sapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Sapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Hrim Klim Srim Glaum Glim Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Reem Klim Sreem Glaum Gleam Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Guru Karusva. Om Reem Klim Sreem Glaum Gleam Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Guru Karusva. Om Reem Klim Shreem Glaum Gleam Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Guru Karusva. Om Reem Klim Sreem Glaum Gleam Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Guru Karusva. Om Reem Klim Sreem Glaum Gleam Chandakaya Devi Shapanogram Guru Karu Sva. Breathe deeply, feeling the power of our mantra. And again, reflecting on the experience that it produced for you. Om Sreem Klim Reem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Kuru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Reem Saptasati Chandikaye Utkilanam Guru Kuru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Kuru Sva. Om Reem Klim Sreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Kuru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Kuru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Sreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Reem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Sreem Klim Hreem Saptasati Chandakaye Utkilanam Guru Guru Sva. Om Srim Klim Hrim Sapta Satta Chandakaye Utkilanam Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Srim Klim Hrim Sapta Satta Chandakaye Utkilanam Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Srim Klim Hrim Sapta Satta Chandakaye Utkilanam Kuru Kuru Svaha. Om Srim Klim Hrim Sapta Satta Chandakaye Utkilanam Kuru Kuru Svaha. Breathe deeply. Again, feeling the energies. And again, reflecting upon the experience that they provided for you. Jema. 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 Om Namo Chandakaya. Om Namo Chandakaya. Om Namo Chandakaya. Om Namo Chandakaya. Keeping your eyes closed, I invite you to slowly bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a moment to acknowledge the presence of the Divine Mother within and without. And take a moment to give gratitude to yourself for taking part in tonight's practice, knowing you can replay the broadcast and do it again as you have need. As I've been doing, I'll include the Stotram and the mantras on our Facebook page so that you can find those very easily. And slowly open your eyes. Namaste. Blessings always. Thank you so very much for joining me. And Jema, Jema, Jema. So tonight's practice was very much in the experimental and experiential spirit. So I would love to hear about your experiences with it. Please feel free to email me at the temple email address, which is omcdevi, D-E-V-I, at gmail.com. Again, omcdevi at gmail.com. I'd love to hear what your experiences were and also answer any questions. And I also look forward to you joining me on Friday for our Cha and Yoga Nidra focused around the concise severance ritual. Have a wonderful couple of days between now and Friday. Just be open to what our practice tonight invokes for you in the days to come. And again, thank you so very much for joining me. Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di. And Jai Ma to Ali, to Jamie, to Bryce, and to Kim, and anyone else who's joining right now, and anyone else who'll be watching the recordings later. Have a wonderful night. Jai Ma.